Before I talk about this movie, I should briefly mention what I thought of the first film. Rise of the Planet of the Apes was an overall decent movie that tried to justify why a small number of apes got smart enough to overthrow 7 billion people. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes continues trying to explain this origin story, as well as continuing the main character's story. Caesar, the super-intelligent chimpanzee, has become a leader of apes in a California forest. Under his rule, the apes have multiplied, they've set up a home, and they've quietly watched the human world disintegrate from afar. In the last film, it was set up that a virus deadly to humans was set loose, and in the second film, it's led to the breakdown of civilization as we know it. We see a small group of humans trying to revitalize San Francisco as a place to live, and we see what happens when they find out that Caesar and his apes live in the forest right next door. The movie deals with prejudice, fear, survival, and revenge. Caesar's right-hand ape from the last movie is eager to destroy the humans for what they did to him in laboratories. Caesar dislikes humans too, but he would rather protect his colony through peace. Meanwhile, there's a similar situation for the human camp. One of the leaders is a man who would jump to desperate measures and violence. The other one would like to communicate peacefully with the apes, especially considering that they are the superior force, and it's in their power to decide whether the humans can get access to a certain power source or not. Both of the human characters have lost relatives in the downfall of humanity, and they are both obsessed with preserving what little of humanity they have left. And I'm just going to say it now, the human characters are bland and shallow. Gary Oldman is wasted in this movie, Jason Clarke does his best with cliches, and the rest of the humans serve just to fill up obligatory spaces in the story. If anything, the apes have a similar problem of cliched characters, but they actually get to develop and change over the course of the film. Andy Serkis gives us his best CGI character since Gollum, and Toby Kebbell does a good job as Koba. We also get Caesar's adult son, Blue Eyes, who wavers between Caesar and Koba's different points of view. It's interesting how the apes are more charismatic and sympathetic than the actual humans are, but there it is. Caesar's evolution on screen, as well as the arcs of Blue Eyes and Koba, are much more interesting than anything else in the movie. The story itself is riddled with cliches and stereotypes. There was one point where I actually thought they weren't going to go down the familiar route, and I was impressed. But then, of course, it turns out it was a fake-out, and we are led to yet another cliché, which I won't reveal because it's a pretty big spoiler, to be honest. But in short, this film is a mixed bag. It's got the action and the CGI apes, which steal the show, but the rest of the film is bland and uninteresting for the most part. I don't know if I'll see the third film, but if I do, I would hope that they can give good writing to both the humans and the apes next time.